Hi everyone, welcome back to Chatroom with Olajumoke. It's always a pleasure having you join us. I know we have been on the break for a very long time, but we are back. Hello, ladies.
Hi.
All right, and with us today we have a beautiful guest co-host,
Special
beautiful guest co-host. God gift. Please, can you say hi to our audience?
Hi.
All right, and today, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Dami, how are you doing?
I'm good.
And of course, Olajumoke. All right. So on this episode, we're going to be discussing few comments from our previous episodes. Remember, Church with Olajumoke is a place where we talk about all things better living. And in our previous episodes, we have had comments, and we just thought, okay, let's discuss some of those comments. And so I'm going to start by reading some of those comments, and then we'll discuss those comments. All right. So when we discussed friendship fallout, motherhood, can you remember friendship
Yeah,
fallout?
yeah.
Okay, it was one of our very previous episodes. I think maybe first or second episode. All right, so motherhood lifestyle, she said we need to give allowance in friendship. She said your friend will hurt you. Okay, let me do a little background. I think friendship fallout, we're talking about the fact that some people will be friends for a while, and at some point they just fall out and you don't really know why that caused, I mean, that happened, what caused it and everything. And we talked about, okay, what are the reasons that could cause friendship fallout. We talked about jealousy, we talked about the fact that people go apart,
Yes,
and several things. Yeah, so that's where she's coming from. So motherhood lifestyle said we need to give allowance in friendship. She said your friend will hurt you unintentionally. There will be arguments and misunderstandings. She now said that don't have overrated expectations. Understand that everyone is unique in their own ways.
Yeah.
So set allowances for their shortcomings. So, what do we think about what she said? I'm going to start with Auntie D. Auntie D.
Yes, in any relationship, you set allowance for shortcomings. They are not you, so they will be able to do things like you. They will do things differently that you might not agree with. And besides, you notice that the Yorubas usually say, when two friends go in and they come out laughing, they haven't been true to
Yeah.
each other. So it's normal for me in friendship. Yes, you can fight, you settle. It strengthens the bond.
Yeah. Okay. God's gift, what do you think about what she said?
Okay, thank you. So for me, I like to consider the heart of the person you're dealing with. So rather than judge the actions, judge the act. Because if you're true to yourself, you also realize that at times when you have done something that you don't intend to do, so you extend that grace to others too. So when you are dealing with somebody, maybe with your spouse or anybody, look at the act. So they can do something to you and you're not happy with it. But if you know that this person likes me, this person loves me, so this person is coming from a good place. So even though the action is not so good, but because of the person, I know the person previously, and I realize that the person has a history of being good and loving and kind. So let that history be what you use to judge the person. Then it's now when that action overcomes, when that action happens over and over again, that is when you can now come back and let us talk about what is happening here. But if it's just one act of maybe it could be negligent, just extend a grace and just let it go.
Yeah, so I think that's extending grace. That's what she means by giving allowance.
Yeah.
Sometimes people do maybe emotional. I saw a post. I think is there's this actress. There's one troublesome actress that was saying that some people, they are just troubles. They just act up and they say it's almost. She was talking about ladies. They say it's hormonal. This is so you just behave anyhow. And then when someone say it's hormones, the hormones is not a reason why you should misbehave. But that's just by the way. So give allowances for people. You said extend grace.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so Dami, what do you think?
Me, I have different opinions.
Yeah, it's you. We know you. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Fine, what they have said is good. But for me, I see friendship as something very important. So, extending grace takes grace itself. When you extend grace, it takes grace to extend that grace. So for me, when I see you as my friend and you are doing something
and I could not correct, I can't correct and tell you this, what you are doing is bad, and you take it personal, then that's not friendship. To extend that grace for my own aspect, it's a no no no. But as a friend that you can talk to each other, in fact, friendship fight. They fight. The most beautiful friendship I can say, they fight, but not that big fight. But they disagree.
Then we have our disagreements.
Yes, they disagree to agree.
Yeah.
But if that is not in that friendship, then I don't think we should give chance for grace.
Okay. All right. So I get you. But I also think that before you get to that place, I think it's also good to have given. Is when, like what she was saying the other, like what God's was saying the other time, is that when you're giving grace to a certain level, and you feel like this person is taking this grace for granted, then you can now come to that level. We can come to where you're saying. But if somebody has not been behaving somehow that way before, and then the person just behaves that way, I think that you can just give the person, my opinion.
Yeah,
you don't have to agree, but I think you can give the person the benefit of the doubt. You can give an excuse in your head. I do that a lot. I can give an excuse in my head, like, okay, maybe this person, or maybe the person going through hormonal imbalance, the person is ovulating or something. Maybe that's why. So, also the person is going through something. So at that point, you can give an excuse in your head. But if it keeps happening, then we can get it to that place where you're talking about.
That's the reason why we said we are different.
Yes. So, but at the end of the day, Sha, grace is important.
It's
Talk about it, and then if you get to a place where it's not workable, it's okay to fall out
Peace
of
of
friendship.
mind.
Do you think it's okay to fall out of friendship?
It's okay.
Yes, it is. It's okay to follow.
Do you think
I
it's
think
okay?
it's natural. You definitely have to. So at times it happens naturally, like distance, and also it just happens as you're growing up. Something just
You have
happen
grown something,
and you grow out of some relationship. So, but doesn't mean that you jam the door. It doesn't mean that you are.
You guys
So the
still
doors are still
talk.
open, but you don't talk as frequent as you used to. But the doors are still open. So whenever you call, there's always this long time.
Then you catch up.
Yes, but that closeness, it happened natural. I think it's a natural thing. It's a natural thing for people to just fall out.
What about when the person is not, you people are not on the same level anymore? You are still together, but you just feel like, I'm not feeling it anymore.
And that is very serious, especially in marriages. That's why you have to be intentional. So when you come up to talk about marriages, so you have to be intentional about growing mentally at the same pace. Because for normal friendship now, you can be together in the same pace physically, but mentally you're not on the same pace. And when there's a mental shift, there's distance already, because you're thinking at a different level and the person is still at a lower level. Especially, let's talk about finances. Somebody is growing financially, mentally, maybe they don't even have the money yet, but they're already growing their mindset. And you're still thinking small. Then definitely there will be a shift. There will be a ceiling, and then it's called frequency. Because you're not thinking at the higher frequency, so you connect people that are in the higher frequency, and that person will still be there. So you can see it's just gisting. Hey, hi, how are you? You can still talk.
We'll be talking on that level.
But the person will naturally move to connect with other people on a higher frequency. And that's why when the person changes their mindset, people begin to connect to them on that same level where they are. So it's just a matter of mind. So in a relationship that you like and you want to connect with, you have to tell the person, help the person to grow. If you don't help the person grow, there will be fallout naturally.
So friendship growth, marital growth, every aspect grow. All right, thank you. That was insightful. I love that. I think we did justice to that. Very beautiful. All right, so the next one we're going to be discussing is where we talked about the guest minister that was looked down on because he came to minister with a bike. So it was looked down on. So Mercy Toyin 9497, she said people need to stop judging others by their appearances, especially if you are meeting that person for the first time. A lot of people miss big opportunities by sizing up their helpers without knowing. In fact, this thing was very lengthy, so I just had to shrink it. So she said a lot of people miss big opportunities by sizing up their helpers without knowing. They will now be doing damage control when they realize the person is a big shot who loves simplicity. So what do we think about this? Who do I start from? Yes,
yeah,
yes,
I think the Bible says that man judge by the outside. So I think it's a natural phenomenon for you to just want to naturally your instinct wants to just look at the person and address and judge the person by the way the person looks. So you now have to be intentional about breaking that bias, breaking that so when you see somebody, every one of us have bias. You see somebody wearing tattoos and looking, you want
Yeah.
to just you want
Yeah.
to move away.
Yeah.
So natural, so whether you think about it, it's just your first instinct want to just shift it. If somebody comes around smelling and or not even smelling but dressing very well and comes to that close, you want to first shift,
Yeah.
or you want to hold your
Yeah.
bags. And so it's a natural bias that every one of us have. So but we have to be intentional about breaking such biases. If not, it's going to affect us, especially for us Christians. So we have to look beyond the physical appearance, and so you have to go beyond the natural carnal instincts to begin to accommodate people and see beyond their physical appearance. So if you don't do that intentionally, you will just be saying I will try. So but you have to be intentional about wanting to break judging somebody by the way they appear, because it's a whole lot you are going to miss out. There's a whole lot you are going to miss out.
Yes, thank you for sharing that. When I was writing out this comment, what came to my mind was is it Naaman now? That leprous, that's that
yes,
man
Naaman.
Naaman,
Yes.
Naaman. So the person that God used was just a maid.
Yeah.
And then they told him, go and take your bath in one river that does not make sense. So I was listening to a message, and someone was saying, the person preaching the message was saying that if in his head he would have been thinking, why not take me to a very big river, somewhere that makes sense. If he had looked down on the prophet and looked down on the river, he wouldn't have gotten his email. But that's what we do most times. You see a minister, you are sizing the person up, and before you connect, people have collected their miracle, they are blessed, they are this thing, and you are not even connected because you're sizing the person up. You are looking at the what is wearing not even up to 20,000. I even have that kind of top. I even know how much you're selling that shit or this thing, or telling
people are already praying,
yes,
receiving their blessings.
Yes.
So naturally, you don't need to look down on people. If you see a small child, relate with that child like normal human.
Yes, it's a human being.
So thinking that this person is not up to my standard, but why is he dressing like this? It shows you are not a Christian. No. That's the truth. To have think in that direction, the first instant you are seeing one person.
I'm sure that person was not blessed.
No, you can't.
Exactly.
The person wouldn't.
A man of God is coming because Ogbe bike wole. What's your business? In fact, in Lagos, you can park your G-Wagon and take bike to your destination because you are late.
Yeah.
So that person is coming in because that gym. Ogbe wole, that's the problem. So as a Christian and as normal human being, same people, relate with them like a normal human being they are. That's for me.
God's image.
Yeah. God's image.
Jesus died for them. They are precious.
Yeah.
And
so you don't just look down on people because the way they are dressed. And Christians do that a lot.
Yeah.
We do. In fact, those people. Sorry, I don't think I should mention, but.
Don't mention if his name. Don't mention. Just
this recent skills of music.
Oh yeah. Oh, everybody knows Gates Baba.
Yes,
what people are saying.
You can imagine a man of God. That man wear suit, or set ring lights, and he started bashing. Honestly, he started bashing a so-called man of God like him. Different ministry. But he's a man of God too. His own ministry is music. Your own ministry is
the word.
I think that discussion is one of the discussions we're supposed to have very soon.
Oh, okay. So I should not talk about it. Sorry.
Don't digress.
Sorry. So looking down, that's what I'm still saying. That we Christians, we look down on people. We tend to look down on people based on their outlook, the way they do things differently from your own perspective.
Yeah.
You're not bringing that he's not a child of God. This person is not a child of, because what you believe, he or she did not believe it in your own way.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. Auntie, did you have something?
I think aside from someone above us in status. There are people that are below us in status. We still need to respect them.
Yes.
It doesn't cost you anything to get to a place and the security man opens the door for you.
Thank
and you're
you.
like, thank you, good morning. You go
They're human
in.
beings.
It does not cost you anything. He's doing his job.
Yes.
He's at his place of employment.
Yes.
Just a messenger gives you some, oh, thank you very much. Someone drops off a package, thank you very much. It doesn't cost you anything.
That's it. Yeah.
Something happened this morning. Someone sent me a message and she just wrote, sent this amount. And my response was, good morning, how have you been? I have seen the alerts and I have acknowledged already on the general group. Have a nice day.
That's courtesy.
So someone
In
else
fact, this thing
and
that
the
you just
person that
said
sent it
is a whole
was
kind
a
of
young girl.
mom. They will no good morning, nothing. They'll just send you a message. They'll just send you a message.
No, it shouldn't be. They're very simple. It's simple courtesy.
Yeah.
It's simple courtesy, and such courtesy endears you to people.
Yes.
When they have to go out of their way for you, they are willing.
Yeah.
You just find them. Let me help. And then your help will now come from the most unexpected places.
Yeah.
Certain people give you recommendations using their body language. Someone mentions your name, that person is just a messenger somewhere, and your name is mentioned. Excuse me. And the messenger goes like, oh, that woman, Oga, you have to do something for her.
Yeah.
It's different from, oh, Oga, okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You understand? Your name has been mentioned.
Yeah.
Two different scenarios. We should basically just treat people like they are human. God made you, God made me.
Yes.
It would go a long way.
Yes.
Okay, so but still on this topic, somebody had a different opinion.
Okay.
So she said, the worded doctor, she said, as Christians, proper presentation is good. Putting basic effort is important.
Yeah.
So she was saying that what happens to you ordering an Uber or maybe finding a way, why do you have to take a bike? I can remember when we had this discussion that time that we're saying that even if you have to take a bike, maybe it's before, let the bike drop you before you get to that place. Just some some little excellence. Okay, but let me continue what she said. She said the life of Christ must reflect in us. Jesus exhibited excellence.
Yeah.
Christianity is not an excuse for mediocrity. And when I was writing this out, I remembered how Jesus wanted to enter that city.
Yeah.
And he told them to go and get donkeys.
Yeah.
And he rode on the donkey because he didn't want to trek him. Right? So our God is an excellent God. So how do we, so this is another angle that is coming from that. Christianity is not a place for mediocrity. Some people even believe that if you are a Christian and you are wealthy, you have private jets and all of that, you are worldly. So how do we balance this? Looking at what the worded doctor said.
For me, a pastor comes on a bike. I have life with it. I do not like people dictating to me how I will treat them. I should determine how I will treat you. Whether you are rude, you are uncouth, it shouldn't matter. It is how I choose to welcome you that matters. Your mediocrity or lack of excellence is on you. It is not on me. I am coming to receive something from you. God's gift, you have something in your hand that I want. And I'm now looking at, oh, you did not brush your hair. It doesn't matter
At all.
You have something I want. It is left to you to, okay, if we are close, I'll go like, there are better ways you could do this. You understand? There was a particular boss of mine. He took bike from Express to airport because there was traffic and he needed to catch his flight. But it would seem as if we're trying to make excuses. But so many things could have happened. And in his mind is on after, let me get to the administration and I'll quickly sort
Yes, he might even have a car.
Even if he does not have a car, what if the only money that is with him? As a pastor, we are human. Because you are a pastor, that doesn't mean you are richer than everybody. What is his pocket? Was the only transport fare? that will take him from his house to that church, and he needs to manage it. What's my business with him taking bike? He's a man of God and he's a human being like me.
Yeah.
So I don't care even if he's dressing awkwardly, if he's dressing anyhow. My own duty is to welcome him.
Yeah.
We are Christians. We want to welcome someone into the gathering.
Yeah.
Abba. So now looking down on that person because we are Christian, that doesn't mean we should talk about these worldly things. You'd find our God is a wonderful God, and I do tell people that Jesus Christ is not a poor man.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
He's not. I don't. In fact, I will say it in Yoruba. Oromoni ororo tí wọ́n fi pa lẹ́sẹ̀ so that it will sink well. It's not the normal common ororo now. It's the most expensive.
Yeah. So we agree, right?
But we agree. But at the same time, that our God uses is not a poor man. Is not. That doesn't mean you should look down on people. You don't have today, I don't have today. That doesn't mean as a Christian I will not have tomorrow. So we should think about it. Let's leave. Okay, because we are a Christian, we should dress this. We should dress. If that person did not have money to buy clothes like what I'm wearing, without stopper or stopping from coming to church, no. We should change our mentality. That whatever you wear, that doesn't mean you will look down on that person. You are looking at the inner mind of that person.
What she says brings to mind the Bible passage where Jesus was saying, "When I didn't have clothes, you clothed me." So that means that someone that is not properly dressed will come into our circle.
Exactly. And when we have
someone that doesn't have food will come into our circle. Someone with no shoes will walk up to us. Someone with sores on their body will walk up to us. Jesus has already given room for all
everybody.
Of this. It could be in any way. I'll list it to you. So we should just
So yes, I wanted to say that there's a balance, two sides of the coin. So even Paul said, "I try to become all things to all people," so that I will not cause a limitation for somebody receiving from me. So God has given you the word. So I'm not even using the case of the man who came with a bike. I'm just saying generally, as a person, just try your best to present yourself honorable, so that you don't bring a limitation from them for people to receive your word. So for instance, if you have poor use of English, you're not able to speak well, and you know your code of God, go and learn. Go and brush up your skills so that you can be able to be received by many. So it's a two sides of the coin. So you have to present yourself in a honorable manner, so that you don't, by your "I want to be myself, this is who I am," you now let other people not able to receive from you. Then you that is receiving, you that is a recipient, clear yourself of any biases and receive the word of God, regardless of who God is going to use to speak to you.
This next comment is from the episode we did where we said God created you in his image, but then we have some people that have disabilities, are born blind and all of that. Why is that? So this, in fact, that one had a lot of people were really speaking out that why, there was a lot of why. So this person says that the fact that he says in his image might not literally mean our look. What if you look at it from the spiritual or mind aspects? Your personality should be of God's. An imbecile child can speak the art of God, can be used of God. Mere caring for an autistic child could help you grow and understand God in ways you couldn't have if you have had a perfectly healthy child. As in this angle, why everybody was saying why, this person is looking at it from another angle. So she says, you see our faith level grows with continual relation with God, and it's basically influenced by the life we live. He said everything he made, he saw it was good. Snake, good? Question mark. You jam lion today, you go stand. We have some plants that are poisonous, but he made them all, and he said it was good. So I don't even know where we should start to dissect this from, because you want to say something.
Yes, I do want
Okay.
to say something. So I want to point us to the fact that when God said it was good, was before the fall of man.
Yes, yes.
So everything was good. I don't believe God. I don't agree that God made lion to be biting humans, or mosquito to bite humans. So it was the fall of man that turned everything. So, but what I know from the Bible also now said that God makes all things to become beautiful in his time, and then all things work together for our good.
Yeah.
So yes, now devil is now, when somebody was born with a disability in the Bible, and they asked Jesus, who sinned, God or the parents, or who sinned, and he said, for the glory of God. So yeah, things have now changed after the fall of man. Everything is scattered. People are not supposed to be born blind, but now that we see people born blind, and Jesus cast out a demon. Jesus, when somebody was possessed by demon that made him cripple, he just cast and all of that. So now it's the demonic influence that is making things to turn haywire and become cancelled and all. So, but God in his wisdom can make everything become good.
Yeah.
So number one, so the first thing I will also say, the next thing I will say is that yes, we are made in God's image and God's likeness, but it's not the physical look. Because see how beautiful you are and see how I am. We are looking differently, but we are still in the image of God. So it's not the physical look, it's the man.
Wait, it's not easy. It's not honest, it's not easy. You see, when we discussed about this thing then, we said you are a Christian, you pray, you love God, you serve God, you do everything, and yet something like that happened.
Yeah, that's what this person is saying.
See, in my own perspective, see, we human beings, we can write from now till next year if that thing is not from our side.
Yeah, talk is cheap.
It's not easy,
It's not.
I mean, what's it called? Not this autistic now. I'm talking about maybe heart disease, cancer.
Or a child was born with a hole in the heart.
Or a child was born with a hole in the heart. You did everything. You went for antenatal. And it's draining. It's not easy. See, when you are thinking about, if you are not a Christian and you eventually, someone bring it in and say, Jesus loves you, is like this, is like that, and you eventually give it all to God, and in return, that's what you get. Maybe
You
first
question
child,
why.
you question
why. Yeah.
You ask God why. I served you, I am this, I am that, I am. It's not easy. We can write our color. When we are talking about grief, a lot of people say, but the person who is grieving,
the person that knows
is
how
God.
to
It's
feel,
only in
feel.
God Himself that can console. So we should leave all this right up. It's true. All this right up is good though. Sorry, thank you for that.
That's the person's comment.
That's very beautiful.
So that people can comment.
I'm not sorry. I did not say you should not comment, but I'm just saying
It's the person's opinion. We are sharing our opinion. The person shared our opinion as well.
It's not easy in any way.
Yeah.
But you can you still have hope that God can make everything to become good. So you just have hope. But it's not as if you dwell in the fact that, you're terrible, you're feeling sad. You should not dwell there. So yes, it's not good. Yes, it's not fine. You can now connect with people who have been in that situation and draw strength from them. And people who are in that situation and they are able to, God has helped them to get certain level of emotional stability.
Yeah,
so you can now draw strength. So you must not dwell there. So there's still hope. God makes everything to be
beautiful
and beautiful.
good.
Yeah. Everything works together for our good. So you may not understand it.
There's a woman I followed on Instagram. She had 3 autistic children.
I don't want to think about it.
3.
Like
3.
Yes.
One gun is a lot of.
It's a lot of
3
work.
autistic children, and if you see the fate of this woman, no.
Can't even imagine.
I don't want to mention anything, but man, you are trying. God is really using that woman, despite the fact of her condition.
Yeah, so that's what.
So we can still find. We can still when she says some things now. Then I remember that woman. Then there's a conclusion I had in me. I said, okay, even in that situation, God is good.
He is good.
He is good in any situation we are
He is
in.
good.
He is
He is
good.
good.
He do things at times that we question him, but at the end of the day, that woman, when I look at her setting ring lights, talking to people, encouraging people in her own situation, this is how I do this is how this thing work for me. That is her own strength.
Yeah.
And I'm very sure God gave her that. God, they will tell you that you will not face what you cannot handle.
Yeah, God will not give you that
It will
challenge.
not. It will not.
What you
It
can
will
handle.
not.
Yeah.
It will not.
Yes.
It won't.
So if it's
So he
happening to you,
knew that that woman can take it all to the glory of God,
God,
serving Him,
Yes.
telling people that He is good in that kind of situation.
Awesome.
So I
Thank you,
wouldn't, pardon me, I wouldn't say God is the one that give you that kind of something.
No.
So it's the fall of man that
Yeah.
caused that to happen.
Yes.
But you now in that situation, try to return all glory to God.
Mhm.
So just go through it. God, like you said, God will not let you be tested beyond what you can bear.
Yeah.
So go through it, and then at the end of the day, all glory to God, and you see that everything will work out together for you.
Hallelujah.
And today you have been very quiet. Do you want to add anything?
No.
Okay. They have hit the nail on the head. It was Danny and God gives discussion. Yeah. I was just actually remember. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So let's move on to the next comment. This comment came from dealing with an over ambitious spouse. So Oluwagbotemi 8601 said, overambitiousness can be a motivation to grow and be better for a supportive spouse, but it can breed insecurity in an uncooperative spouse. So when you were talking about when we're talking about friendship fallout, and you were saying that, in fact, I think that we have kind of even dealt with this friendship fallout thing, except we want to add anything, because once you are growing, expect pull up the other person so that you can grow together. The other person too, don't just sit down in one place. Grow together, because you'll find yourself in a place of being insecure because your spouse or the person you're in relationship with is an high flyer and is going all over the place, and you are just seated there. So I don't know if anybody.
So I want something that when you say pull up your spouse, so it has to be done with wisdom and grace.
Yeah.
It has to be done with, because you can't just say, I'm taking a course, take your course now. No, it has to be done with wisdom and grace, and you have to help the person grow at their own pace. So it's not by saying, okay, if I'm taking a course, I have to take a course. I'm doing my master, I have to do a master. So no, it has to be done with wisdom. So if you don't know how, go and learn. Meet people who are already there. You see high flying man and husband and wife, go and meet them and learn from them. How are you able to? Can you speak to my husband? Can you help? Come in or give me some wisdom and tips. So it has to be handled gently, because we're talking about human being. Human being is a complex being. You cannot make a person do what they don't want to do. So it has to be done in a way that they can see it and want to. And you don't have to show off the fact that you're now your higher level of knowledge. So you don't have to rub it up on the person.
Yeah.
Nah, that will not encourage the person to do it. The person will say, okay, go ahead, I'm not going. And then you are shooting yourself at the leg. Because it takes two to tango. You both have to be on the same level to be able to. You have to do your 1,000 and your 1,000, then together do 10,000. So if I'm doing 10,000, and you do 10. How can we do 10,000?
Okay, does anybody want to add anything to what she has said?
On that particular day, we really loved the issue.
We did.
Okay, so I think finally on the comments, we are going to be the last thing is on the mother-in-law, daughter-in-law issue. So Ose Hale, I hope I called it correctly, Ose Hale Fewo said she is in an intertribal marriage, and she said, my in-laws know too well that there are things that we do that doesn't count as disrespect, and still they never hold me to it. I think you're in an intertribal marriage. So, but she said, my husband has set boundaries from the onset too. So so I just thought for me to bring out this comment, it was for us to think about, to share our thoughts with intertribal, because I don't think we actually dealt with, the day we're having this discussion, we're just talking about mother-in-law generally. We didn't talk about intertribal. So for Yorubas, you have to kneel down every single time, you have to do all of that. But maybe they come from a place where they don't kneel down and they're looking at you as being disrespectful. So how do we handle mother-in-law, daughter-in-law issues in intertribal marriage? I'd like to hear from you first, since you are there.
Okay, so Okay, I don't really have so much of it. I don't have any challenge in that area because my in-laws, they are very loving and exposed, and they are kind, and also. But what I can say in that regards is grace, understanding, and apply, and just extending grace. So you have to know that, okay, this person is not coming from, does not know anything about our culture. So you just have to take your time to teach the person, and then give the person room to make mistake, and just forgive the person in advance. So don't hold things to heart. Don't hold oh, you didn't do this to me, you didn't do that to me, and then hold it to heart. So you have to understand that there's a room where, there are some nuances that you do that, but the person does not understand that this is what it is. So you just have to extend grace and just be patient with the person. And you who is being married, okay, let's have a person who is being married in. So you have to take it upon yourself to learn, because people are happy and when they see you learning. So if you see a white man speaking Yoruba, for instance, you are happier to relate to the person because the person has taken an effort to learn your language. So you who is coming in, have an open mind and try to learn as much as you can, because as you're learning and you're applying, they're happier when they hear you speak Yoruba, when they hear you do things in their culture. They are happy, and they're more able to resolve. Don't say this is who I am.
No, you have to also,
So if you're
and they're extending grace, you to extend grace back.
so it has to be, so as you're coming in, come in, learn, and then they're also being patient with you, and as you're learning, and also that's how it's going to work. But if you come and say, no, this is who I am, this is how I am,
People should accept me like that.
so they will accept you, but you still have to learn to come in. You have to, right? So accepting means, okay, we are now extending grace in both ways. So I'm learning of yours, you're also learning of mine, and then we are merging together to become one big and beautiful united family.
Awesome.
I went for a wedding recently, and apparently in the husband's tribe, they don't prostrate to any man.
Wow.
So when it got to that stage where the woman is Yoruba, the husband was meant to prostrate. The alagad was like, the man, he and his friends, they had to prostrate. The man now went like, no, we don't prostrate in my tribe. On the table where I sat, there was an elderly woman.
I don't understand. They should have said that. They should have talked about that before. That shouldn't be that place that. No. That's not success. That's not excellent.
Anyway, there was an elderly woman who is a member of the bride's family on the table. The woman was not like, no, he has to prostrate. It is our culture. He should have known that. Another woman on the table was not like, what if in their culture, if you prostrate, there is a curse attached or something? Please don't let them start their marriage, their life on something. And if the bride's nuclear family have accepted him,
What is your own?
What is your
own?
Mommy, what's your best?
There are some things that it's a give and take thing. It's a give and take. Okay, we don't do this here. Okay, you people do this. But there are some women. They'll use that as an opportunity to be disrespectful. You might probably come from a culture where you don't kneel down. But you know that your mother-in-law's culture believes in, if you kneel down, you are giving her full respect. To honor her, you now choose to kneel down. But someone that is not interested even in greeting the mother-in-law in the first place will just like,
And
in my culture,
in this comment,
we always win.
the lady said her husband
created
boundaries already.
Yes,
Yeah.
the importance of the man in this situation.
that's definition of an intentional man.
Yes.
So before she comes in,
These are the rules.
are the rules. You don't disrespect my wife. And I'm very
And
sure
wife,
that man
wife also.
exactly.
Don't disrespect my mom.
So when you say
There's a boundary. Don't do this, and they will not do this back.
Yes.
So it takes two to tango.
Yes.
The husband and the wife. If the husband is from different
tribe.
different tribe too.
Yeah.
It depends on the both side. We need an intentional man that will stand in the gap, because if the foundation is not well laid, there's a problem.
They'll be having issues back to back.
But if there is a foundation, this is my wife's culture. What we need to do is to teach her our own culture. This is how we need to do it. Wife, this is my culture. I understand your culture, but we need to do what? You move from your own side.
Yeah,
mind.
so
Then
meet
at the middle,
yeah,
so that things will work.
work out well.
So intentional man, please.
She's not intentional, man.
So you can see that there's need for knowledge to be
Yes,
shared.
to be
So
shared.
you don't assume.
No.
So you have to share the knowledge. So I'm more surprised how they should have concluded it already that this is how we're going to do the wedding.
Exactly.
No, that one is not
That's
real.
even insulting. It's not.
Why would you be saying no in that place? They would have told the Alaga or I
Yes,
don't know what
the
they
other keep it out. It should have carried everybody out.
What of the
along.
bride's side?
No, the bright people.
or when they had started, they would have whispered to her ear
knew.
that they
So
should do it in another way.
for them,
Yeah.
they should come
They
and
should have
he
informed.
just sat down. He just sat down with his in-laws. He sat down with them. He sat down in
Those
their
are things they should have talked
immediately.
about. They should have really.
Instead of
It's very
just-
important. They should have
Because that could even breed animosity among
Yes.
them.
Yes.
It could breed because the auntie will not be saying, okay, so you are not even respectful, and then that can lead to
This,
something
that,
else.
that.
So everything should have been sorted out. So in tribal marriage, there's no room for assumption. There's no room
No.
for everything must be said. on the
Everything
table and
needs
clear.
to be yes, needs to be said.
Yeah. All right, so I think we have done we just brought a few comments. We can't go over everybody's comments. We can't do that because even with this we have I'm sure we have spent I don't know how long we have spent now, but yeah, I think that we've done justice to this and we have been able to bring. I have learned something. I believe every lady here has learned something.
I must say the comments are quite thoughtful and
Yeah.
like,
Thank you, our viewers. Thank you for please keep commenting. We'll do this again after we have done a few more episodes. We'll do this again. We'll talk about your comments. So thank you so much for commenting. But before we go, we don't go without playing our game. So game time, drum roll. Can I have my cardboard? So I'm the game master in this game. I'm not playing this game.
No,
It's only three of you that will play this game.
It's not possible. It's not
So
possible.
this game is you're not going to touch. I don't know. Yeah, you're not going to touch the color that icon. So where am I going to start from? I'm going to start with Auntie D. So God, please let me lead this.
okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah. So I think two of you can play from that angle. Then by the time we get to this place, we'll move it here.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to. How many seconds should we use per person? Maybe 10 seconds per person because of time.
Timer.
Yeah, there's the stopwatch is here already.
Okay.
10 seconds is short. Maybe 20 seconds per person.
Minute. No, don't.
All right, so ready? Ready? Okay. Yellow.
Okay, I should wait.
I shouldn't touch that's the color icon. Okay. Yes. And I'm going to be very fast. No problem. Yes. Okay, maybe we'll do add. We'll do no. This stuff like what is that something? Medium and add. Let's do medium. Easy. Hey, it's easy. But that's the word. Easy and add. We're not going to do medium. Easy and add. So
Okay.
let's go again. Let me start the timer again so that we can start. So we are doing easy. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it lightly and slowly with you. Ready? Go. Yellow, pink, white, green. Is this green or blue?
It's green.
It's green. Okay, so we are doing add now. Green, white, yellow, pink, blue. Alright, God gives me your turn. Okay. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Pink, yellow, green. Oh my God, no. It's not allowed. Pink, not another color. Thank you. Alright, so let's go again. Green, yellow, pink, white, yellow, pink, yellow. Alright, so let's go add now.
Okay.
Yellow, white, green, pink, yellow.
Oh, she said
Thank you. Alright, so it's David's turn now. I'm not going to play this game. I'm game master.
This thing is
Thank you.
Ojoro. You are not playing.
Yes,
It's
I'm not playing.
Ojoro.
All
Father,
right, are we
Lord.
ready?
Father Lord, I am ready.
Okay.
I should not touch the color you.
Yes, you should not touch it.
I will try.
All right, go. Yellow, pink, green, yellow, white. I would have not even done that.
Let's
Let's add green, pink, pink. All right, thank you everybody for joining this episode. I hope you had a nice time, and I hope you have learned a few things as much as we have. So we'll see you again next time. Don't forget to keep keeping it real. Bye bye.
Bye.